So therefore, the usage may not be so high. But the moment they get used to it, they will start to become like the adults and the teenagers. And later on, I'm going to show you what are the concerns for this age group, because many of us here are in that age group, all of us. Okay, another summary. Children rising fast, mostly negative. Teenagers, highest, strongly negative. Adult, high and mixed. Older adults, growing and mostly positive as of now. Now I zero on to older adults. Do older adults become more sedentary with more frequent digital use? Okay? The first thing to observe about older adults is they are already spending 8 to 12 hours a day very sedentary. 80% of the waking time. And that aging itself is a natural decline in movement. So digital tech can reinforce this. Watching TV, tablet browsing, these will prolong your sitting activities. And technology will add more sedentary time to already very sedentary. And there is, okay, for the elderly, one of the biggest danger is the problem of losing muscle mass. Okay, older adults with high sedentary screen use have 70 to 75% higher odds of probable sarcopenia, which is a loss of muscle mass, and even relatively modest threshold matter. 2 hours a day of TV, higher sarcopenia risk. Okay, risk of sarcopenia is 40% overall, and this effect persists even after adjusting for physical activity. So sitting too much is harmful even if you exercise. Okay? Now what is the compounding danger? If a person already has sarcopenia and has sedentary digital lifestyle, it will, of course, sarcopenia causes loss of muscle mass, loss of strength, slower movement, and sedentary tech use will have less muscle stimulation, faster muscle loss, reduced mobility, and it's a vicious cycle. Less movement, more weakness, even less movement. Okay? And functional decline and loss of independence. Lower muscle strength leads to difficulty in walking, standing, climbing stairs, and study has shown high TV viewing above 6 hours per day leads to lower grip strength. And this directly affects the ability to live independently and fall risk. And sedentary lifestyle and aging increase the risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and frailty. These risks add together, not separately. Now, cognitive risks. Type of the way you use your digital media matters. If you are passively watching TV, that's bad. And it's linked to worse cognitive outcome, dementia, risk patterns. Mentally active digital use can be protective. So it's a question of what are you looking at the screen? Is it engaging you mentally or is it passive viewing? Okay, this is a very good summary of the elderly sedentary lifestyle. Let's look at it for you. Sedentary digital lifestyle, prolonged sitting, endless scrolling, tablet, phone use, leads to sarcopenia, reduced strength, slower movement, severe outcome, more frail, loss of independence, higher disease risk, progressive weakness, mobility, Now, that I shared with you some of the facts already. Now I am going to I'm just looking at the digital lifestyle, right? But how this digital lifestyle map into the digital economy. Okay? Now in the digital economy, it's characterized by gig work. That means you can work anywhere, work anytime, and therefore irregular hours, poor sleep and stress. And then you can eat anytime. You can call Grab anytime. And also more easy access to unhealthy food. E-commerce, you don't have to go to the shop to buy things. You can buy in the comfort of your home. So the more sedentary lifestyle living that is designed in daily life, the diet change, and you add that to very stressed at work, you eat even more harmful.
That's why US can build up to 500 pounds.
And then digital technologies are enabler. Okay? Now look at the tools themselves. AI diagnostic will lead to earlier disease detection. The wearables that you have may inform you of your potential heart attack about a month before it happens, right? So that's the good side of it, okay? And but also automation. So you have better health access, but you got less daily movement. So this is plus and minus, okay? Now, screen time, social media, sleep disruption, mental health. This is all part of the economy. And so I think what is actually here before us is we are confronted with making choices and how we invest our time or how we balance the investment of our time. Now, just now I spoke about direct correlation between your screen time and obesity, but with a convenient economy, even if you do not have increased screen time, you might be sedentary also because you don't go to the shop, you don't do the various errands, you don't even do the necessary walk that you would normally used to do, right? So that already also contributes to obesity. And for example, a lot of people who actually drive, they drive to their condo, walk up the lift, go to their room, they don't even make the walk from the public transport home. You ended up many times, that adds up. Okay, so the system make it easy, so it becomes like you're more inclined to take the easier option, right? You will take the lift, not the stairs, right? Okay, so the whole thing is self-reinforcing. It's an ecosystem that's built up with the economy, the technology, the lifestyle, and it affects the health outcome. So, so you can see in this picture visually, again summarizing, e-commerce, digital finance, platform-driven business model, digital lifestyle, connected on-demand, convenient, screen-based, less active, always on, AI, mobile, IoT, cloud, wearable, big data, platform, and how it impacts your health. If you choose to get feedback and you choose to respond to wearable, to stand up when you should, and to get the prompts and go for your regular walk, you should be healthy. But my question is, how many of us follow that? Follow. Very good. Ching. Now, restaurant delivery, and a lot of it is convenient processed food. Okay, and social media, gaming especially, streaming, you know, and yet the final bit is healthcare, which is supposed to help people live. So this is all a bit repetitive. Now, let me just at this point summarize a little bit. The digital economy and technologies are not inherently good or bad. They are powerful forces that shape how we live, work, and move. They impact on our health, depends on whether they promote convenience at the expense of activity or enable healthier choice. We often blame screen time, but the deeper issue is how the digital economy is redesigning our lives, making unhealthy choices easier and healthier ones harder. Now, after I tell you all this and all these statistics, it looks like an intellectual discussion. But what I want to do next is relate that to how your body, how you are made biologically, and how the sedentary lifestyle affects us physiologically, and how stress affects us physiologically, and correspondingly, that will motivate you to be intentional in your choice. Because most of the time, we will take the easier way out, right? But if you understand how your body works, you may realize that by sitting down all the time, what you are doing to your body. Because very often we only know that when we have a heart problem or some issue. So this is the next part I'm going to show you. The first thing I want to share with you, I'm going to stand a little bit anyway. Many of the people, the elderly people, will first notice the moment you lose the mobility of your legs, right? It changes your life. You cannot move around. Of course, there are automated vehicles and all that, but let's look at how a sedentary lifestyle actually affect our body. Okay? So this is an experiment, or this is a study that was done in the University of Copenhagen. And what they did was they had 30-year-old, very young people. And what they did was they immobilized their calf muscles, so that calf muscles don't move for 2 weeks. And what they found was that they lose 22 to 34% of their muscle strength and muscle mass. Just 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Handicap.
So if you can remember during circuit breaker, and you had to stay at home, okay, for 1 month in the house, and when you go out of your house and you start to walk, even when you walk, right, do you find that you have difficulty walking?
Oh, I can't remember. Actually, Singapore not.
For me, I got no circuit breaker.
There's no circuit
I
breaker.
work in essential field, so I still continue work.
Okay. So this experiment is very interesting because now the loss of muscle strength may seem a little bit. So what? If I lose 22%, right? The thing is, your calf muscle is. You see your blood from your heart goes down to your leg by gravity. Okay? And when your blood needs to return back to your heart, it needs your calf muscle to act as a second heart. So if your leg is not effective or efficient. So imagine blood flowing 100%, returning about 78 to 60 over percent. Huh? Does it work, right?
No, physically it's not possible.
Yeah. So what happens is there's a pooling of your blood in your legs.
You get more and more, then go back on top of it.
Yeah. So it happens progressively over time. Okay. So but you can see the mismatch already.
Because you must be 100% in, 100% out. Otherwise, no more blood in the body.
Okay. But what I'm actually showing is this differential loss in blood flow leads to people having swollen legs, legs that are darkened. All these are symptoms of poor blood flow.
Thrombosis.
And DVT, deep vein thrombosis. It doesn't take place overnight. It doesn't necessarily happen, but it's just one pathway. And when you sit on the computer, sedentary, you remember the word sedentary was repeated many times, but what I'm driving home is this sedentary means that, just imagine you are sitting down now, your leg is bent, okay, your hip is bent, 90 degrees, you take a straw, you bend it 90 degrees, the blood flow here and blood flow here is slow, okay, and then you lose muscle strength. All this combined together will lead to people having issues with their mobility eventually. And you are right in saying that the pooling of the blood, what happens is when the blood pools together, they start to bind the cells. That means the blood starts to clot together. Okay? And your veins are bigger. Okay? But as it goes up, especially your eyes and your brain, are very fine, and your lungs. So it's a perfect storm waiting to happen. So this picture, let's look at this picture. I just drew it for you. This is the University of Copenhagen. The normal legs, strong muscle, high strength, high muscle strength. 2 weeks of immobilization, the muscle becomes weaker, okay, and weakness, frailty, last movement, okay, and the sources is all quoted below. If you all want, you can look for me for the details. So this is another explanation of of how the loss of muscle strength can lead to clots in the lungs and in the brain. And a lot of people, when they have stroke, it's always in the brain because the blood vessels in the brain is very fine. Okay. So why am I sharing you this alarming fact is to create awareness why you should be very intentional about mobility. But let me show you another thing that a lot of people don't understand. Besides blood circulation, which is your legs and everything, okay, there's another circulatory system in our body called the lymphatic system. Are you all aware of the lymphatic system? Who's not familiar with the lymphatic system? Okay, very simple. The idea is your heart pumps the blood so that there is a force going down around, pushing it somewhere. And in part, the calf muscle acts as a second heart, right? But the lymphatic system is also a circulatory system. It's like a sewage system. It's a sewage system. The problem is it doesn't have a heart to help it pump. It solely rely on movement. When you don't move, your lymphatic system don't move. So you notice that people who are even bedridden, this lymphatic system, well, what is the lymphatic system? Let me zero in for you. The lymphatic system works together with your circulatory system, and any excessive fluid waste will go into the lymphatic system, and it is cleaned and balanced, then it's returned back to the blood. Can you see it? Okay. So the key pathway, right? These are the lymphatic capillaries, very much like the veins with the little valves inside, and excessive protein, waste pathogen, and the lymphatic system is also your immune system, like your thymus, like your android, and your spleen, okay, and even your stem cells. A lot of people now are very excited about stem cell therapy, but if your lymphatic system is not circulating properly, how can your stem cells go to the other part of your body? Okay. The role of the lymphatic system is number one, immune defense, fluid balance, waste removal, fat absorption, transport and surveillance, to carry the immune cell, the hormones, and all these other things. So lymphatic system is very critical, and yet when you don't move, when you are sedentary, the lymphatic system is not working well. So a lot of people go for massage, right? Actually, the massage helps to drain your lymphatic system. That's why people feel relief after they go for a massage. Okay. But how often can you go massage? Expensive, right? So the key, the key organs, the thymus is your bone marrow, the key structure. So the thymus is where you have your T cells and your immune function. The bone marrow is where you have your stem cells as well, your adult stem cells. So your lymphatic system is very important. So when you don't move and you don't have enough movement, that part of your body is compromised. Okay. Okay, this is why movement is essential. The lymphatic system has no pump of its own. It relies on external force to keep the lymph moving. Your skeletal muscles contraction, your breathing movement, your arterial pulsation, your body movement and changes in posture. All this is related to your movement. Regular movement equals immune system strong. You realize now, not moving can affect your immune system. Okay, I think we are driving into something very interesting. Okay, and how lack of activity and movement affect the lymph flow? Prolonged activity, reduced muscle contraction, slow lymph flow, fluid stagnation, congestion, and immune burden. Okay, and what are the consequences? Swelling, the immune system, chronic inflammation, fatigue, poor detoxification, high risk of chronic disease. Okay? I think this is probably, in my opinion, something that I recently discovered myself. And so I'm very excited to share with you all that many of us don't realize that. We always talk about good blood circulation, but we often don't realize good lymphatic circulation is very important. And only through physical movement you can do that. So this covers the issue of what sedentary lifestyle can affect our health. And therefore I believe knowing this, you will be more intentional. So for example, you're sitting for an hour, the app will tell you stand up. Just stand up for 5 minutes. This movement will actually help with the circulation. It's not big things, so just stand up, remembering to stand up every hour. That's why the watch, the Apple Watch, reminds us to do that. Okay. Now, the next topic is, we talk about mental health. Okay? But actually, I put it more simply, stress. Okay? This digital economy, because things are moving very fast, you read about AI, that in 5 years, nobody, 90% of people will be out of work, kind of very extreme statements. And increasingly, a lot of the AI experts are of the view that many of our jobs are at risk of being replaced. Okay? For ladies, maybe someone that she's more pretty, she got more friends and all that, that kind of stress also affect them. But our very existence, our very relevance to the economy is currently being threatened by this digital economy. And so, many of us are under stress. The stress can come in different forms, like you got to pay for your rent, right? Cover your overheads, like Jing running his farm, right? Or lightning strike, there's so many things that are happening. And things is happening faster and faster. The speed of change is creating the stress. But let me give you a very simple mental picture of what that stress looks like. Imagine you enter a dark room. And in this dark room, there are no switches. There's no on-off switch. Okay? But what happens is the moment your mind think of something stressful or you receive a news that's stressful, it turns on the switch, the lights in the room all light up. That thought turn on the lights, and the light represents stress. And the light is on. Now you want to sleep, but you don't want to turn on the switch. That is what stress is. Can you imagine? A lot of people are going to bed with all the lights on in the head. Let me show you why so. The first stage is when the threat is perceived: work pressure, financial worry, relationship, chronic illness, traffic jam, exam. The brain, something triggers your amygdala. And this amygdala will do two things. Short-term stress, it will trigger your adrenaline to activate. They call it the sympathetic adrenal medullary system. Okay? So a lot of adrenaline goes. But chronic stress will affect the hormonal system. It will actually cause your body through the HPA axis, hypothalamus, pituitary adrenal cortex, to release cortisol, which is the stress hormone. Okay? It can take place over days and even months. Okay? Now, let me again explain to you in very layman terms what the stress response does to us. The best example I can think of is when you imagine you're a caveman. So what's actually happening is, biologically, we are designed and made to be a caveman. Our biology is still from caveman age, and technology has gone ahead. But every time when we are threatened, we are cavemen. Okay? So when a caveman encounters, is always someone is going to attack him, and he's going to defend himself. So his muscles become very tense. Okay? So he's all geared to fight because you might be injured, the body prepares itself to, in case you get cut or injured, the blood clots easier. Okay? And when you have a cut, you have germs going in, right? So the body also starts itself to inflame, to slow down the traveling of the germs. So it's called inflammation. There's inflammation, there's blood clotting, so your heart is beating very fast, your muscles are all constricted, okay? And the body also decides you need energy to fight. You don't need energy to digest your food. You have no time to eat. So people who are under stress usually have problem breaking down food. Even if they eat, they feel still hungry. They cannot break down the food.
So they don't feel hungry.
No. They
don't eat, they can't eat.
They can't eat. And they eat normal food, they don't feel satisfied because the digestive system is not working. But when you eat sugar, they get satisfied because you don't need to work, you don't need to digest to absorb your sugar. Sugar goes right to your bloodstream. So people who are under stress tend to start to move towards sugary food rather than healthy food. So this whole biology of stress explains a lot of things. So I go to the technical part of it. Okay. So the brain it's a fight or flight response. The brain is alert. The long-term memory doesn't shut down. The focus of the vision is narrowed down. The breathing is faster. The immune system is suppressed actually. The digestive system slowed down. Nutrients don't get absorbed so fast. A lot of stress hormone release, a lot of glucose, a lot of fat is being, a lot of muscle tension. Okay. It's all here, right? You can see it, right? Okay. Now, the problem with stress is if every day your light is on, you cannot switch off the light, you know. It will affect your heart, cardiovascular, hypertension, coronary heart disease, stroke, heart failure, atherosclerosis. Of course, your mind is not rest, you must sleep. And very interestingly, obesity, metabolic disease. Okay? So already sedentary, but you're under stress, it will add weight to you. And you have abdominal fat. Okay, because if you can't digest the food, you will have gastrointestinal problems, reproductive issues, immune problems, and your muscles will be a lot of tension, headache, and various things. So these two things are the key things that I think I'm impressing you a little bit by telling you all these very stressful things. So I give you a little remedy. Stress is triggers your sympathetic system, your autonomous nervous system, okay? Involuntarily. So the way to shut off the stress, one way, is to take slow, deep breath. And how you take this slow, deep breath is your in-breath must be lower count than your out-breath. So if you breathe in, let's say you breathe in 5. Your out-breath should be at least 6 or 8. This will involuntarily help you shut off your stress system. Hopefully. Okay? So that's one good takeaway I like to do. So I think in summary, without technology, we can be sedentary, we can be highly stressed. But with technology, with the digital economy, with the digital lifestyle, the convenience, it makes us more sedentary, makes us more stressed. So in order for you to take advantage of the progress in AI in the area of health, and to stay alive until the new discoveries catch up, we have to keep moving. That's the objective. I think that's my.
Any question?
Any questions?
Just now you were saying that to de-stress, to take shorter
That means when you breathe, let's say count.
inhalation is
2,
less than
3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will actually come down.
I thought that inhalation is more important because you get more oxygen to for circulation and
The principle is this guy from Harvard. The very simple principle that we can apply at home is out breath longer than the in breath. That's the principle. Yeah. Of course, you when you breathe the 5 times, you can erase deep breath, deep breathing. So you bring a diagram, but your out breath must still be long.
I think anyhow also can. As long as you concentrate on your breathing, you forget about everything else.
Okay, that's called mindfulness, which is also important because a lot. The thing about our digital technology is they say that young people nowadays only have 1 minute attention span. Everything has been said and done in 1 minute or 2 minutes.
They spend hours on the computer.
No, but the thing is, on the TikTok, they see only 1 minute screen, but they see the next one 1 minute, next one 1 minute. So they stay on for hours.
So this is called ADHD, attention deficit behavior.
Don't need technology. Last time people also sit, play mahjong for hours, right?
Yeah.
Or the scholar read books under candlelight for hours.
Yeah.
Those same everybody also sit around.
So today, I want to bring this understanding to as many people that can within this Zoom session to realize the importance of not sitting continuously by standing up every 1 hour. In fact, a lot of people don't understand that you get an Apple Watch, they will give you a bus, stand up now. Okay? You never understand why. And also you never understand why they make those tables in office with where you can adjust the height. The reason is very simple. You sit up for a while, you elevate the height, so you stand up working. Then up and down again. So by standing up and down, you continue your work, but you actually have movement. So movement is very important. And that's the takeaway. Yes.
I have a friend, okay, sitting there working for 7 hours straight, without standing, without go to toilet, without go to lunch. 7 hours.
Okay.
And after that, you know what happened? Relax. DBT.
7 hours only relax.
Yeah.
So easy to die.
Yeah. So you are confirming what has been said. So
DBT.
yeah, DBT. And it can happen to any age.
So he actually coma in could take part for 3 days. No. No.
It's still in hospital.
No. Recovered. Yeah.
Okay. Let me
Take
explain.
aeroplane, a lot of people die.
Yeah. How this thing cells, you realize you don't exercise, you don't move, the muscle is weak, the calf muscle is weak. So the pumping is not so good. Okay? So, like, thinking calculate what? Cannot be what? 100% and up 70%, there's a shortfall.
Then one more thing, like 100 in, so it's actually less power, so
what happened is the car, all the car all slow down around the legs. Then they so close to each other, the blood cells start to form, bind itself.
Yeah.
And this binding is strong bond.
Yeah.
This strong bond. After that, shake, escape. Because the vein is bigger. So it flow. But must remember, you know the river, calm, not the river, but some places so, everything got stuck there, right? That's exactly what's happening. All our veins around our lungs, our eyes, and our brain, very fine blood vessels. So I have a friend who had a situation with heart, we call AFib, and the heart beat so fast, forget how to beat. So the blood stays in the chamber of the heart longer than it should. The doctor very concerned, blood thinners. Any part of the body is stationary, there's a danger of blood forming. Stress itself will also form blood clots. Because the body is trying to prepare you in the event that you are injured. Then your blood must go. Otherwise you lose a lot of blood, right? So there are many mechanisms that cause blood clot. The third one that causes blood clot is smoking. And the fourth one is you don't drink enough. So I give you the complete, almost complete, that all these are the various things that can contribute. There are many factors, but sedentary lifestyle is one of the contributors. So if you do all four, you smoke, you don't drink water, you are sedentary, then even high blood pressure.
See, everything is stress. You eat food, your food contains chemical that your body don't need. You want to get rid of it. It's a stress. Everything even if you take aeroplane you sit too long, your backside pain already
No, if you are sitting on a plane, right, we say you should just move your calf muscles.
If your backside pain, you just stand up for a short while.
Okay, let me show.
1 minute can already. You can sit there.
I think I explained to you so I don't enjoy. So when you sit, right, your hip area, your knee area is 90 degrees. So this bend means blood circulation is slow. So just stand up.
Then okay, 1 minute, okay already.
And of course, today I share with you all the contributing factors. But myself, because I'm a wellness consultant, so I have a much deeper understanding of why blood circulation is so important.
But now the government is stopping all the massage parlor in the HDB area.
So don't need to walk out, stay at home. No massage.
No, because people think that massage is good, but massage got disease, STD.
What does that got to do with
I mentioned massage only in passing to explain why it is effective. But the whole idea behind it is you got to move. You see?
in massage where can move?
No, why?
You move the
No.
flow of the.
What I mean is when you go for a walk and you move your body, you stretch your body, it's as if you're giving your body a good massage. So I mentioned massage in passing to explain why people feel relief after a massage and why many of the problems go away temporarily. Right? But if you have a lifestyle of constant movement, stretching and all that, I think you're better off than someone who is not. Yeah. And then so I believe the last segment of my presentation gives you the awareness and the seriousness in which this sedentary lifestyle is negatively affecting our very health, right? And by taking consistent discipline action over time, it is not like I do it 1 week and the next 3 weeks I don't do anything. Not so effective. It has to be intentional, daily kind of thing. Yeah. So the wearables are very helpful to remind you to stand, remind you to go for your walk, to keep track of how you're doing last week versus this week and the next week. You don't have to be the best, you just have to move. Yeah.
All these things got cascading problems. You know, in US, the ambulance, okay, that respond to all this rescue, okay, they found that they have hard time to push the trolley onto the ambulance cart because too heavy. So now they use crane, they use a winch to winch up because too heavy. All these people are obese, are so heavy.
So sedentary adds to obesity, stress adds to obesity, obesity leads to diabetes. So they're all interconnected. To overcome this, I'll give you some practical advice. You can start by not doing anything drastic, but you keep your eating window within the 6-hour period, 8-hour period. And then
less. Eat less.
No, eat less and eat within the time frame. Example, you eat at 12. Okay, your last meal latest 8.
So the practice 168 lah, they call it.
That's called intermittent fasting.
168. They say 16-hour fasting, then you only eat for 8 hours.
Yeah. And
In 8 hours, the stomach explode already.
No, 8-hour window, not eat all 4 hours.
That means you can eat one meal at 12, maybe another meal at 5 or 6. It's fine. You don't go into what you eat, just when you eat first.
Some people, they only eat morning, eat a lot in the morning, and then that's all, the whole day will eat.
Also possible.
And then they get dinner and dinner.
Yeah. So why I mention this is because you're obese, right? Just by varying your eating time can help you lose some of the weight.
So you don't need to exercise.
No, you still have to exercise, but when you give an example.
You eat less calorie, then you have to waste effort burning the extra calories.
Example, you are carrying around your huge body, you're carrying a backpack with you. Even you want to exercise, after you do the first day, you already flat out already. So the first thing is change your eating habit and then slowly increase your activity. As long as you're going in the right direction, that's the most important thing. And the most important thing, my objective today, is to give you the awareness that you have a lymphatic system, that the stress is killing you, and you're not doing it. And you can do something about it.
There is a mention about eating not up to 100%, but 70 or 80%.
How to know how many percent
Your
you eat?
feeling of hunger.
How to know?
Now,
You eat is still
when you practice that,
Sorry?
how to know?
You're going to
70.
How to measure 100% is you
Yeah, that means you will still eat until you're still less full, like, you know, there is still not enough.
Actually, I also share you one more thing.
Ah.
A lot of our food in our local context, like you call everything, right, is essentially carbohydrates. Yeah. So you cut down on that alone, I think you already will be able to progressively reduce your weight. I'm not saying completely, you can still have a carbohydrate, but just cutting that out. And if you want, any of you diabetic here?
I got pressure lah.
Everything.
Don't
Ah.
don't have.
Never.
All very healthy.
Yes.
Not very.
Don't drink kopi, tea, kosong. All very
I
healthy.
give a very simple diet now. If you want to follow. Take sardines and vegetables.
Okay, what?
Sardines and vegetables.
Sardine lah. It's a fish eh.
Yeah, small fish.
You know, something is processed food.
No, sardines.
Yes, it's a processed food. All food are processed food.
Then you will put chemical to preserve it.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
No.
Not
Okay.
food.
Sardines in olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil.
Where got virgin oil?
You eat sardines extra virgin oil. The first thing is, you say about contaminant and all that. The bigger the fish, the more the mercury. So sardines is the smallest fish you can ever find.
Fresh sardine or canned sardine.
You can get fresh sardine by all means, but most of us can't get fresh
Can't
sardine.
get.
No,
They-
you buy lah, you buy tilapia or real fish for me lah. That one, that's
Yeah. So the whole idea is small fish and wild caught. That means it is in the ocean.
sardine rubbish in the wild.
Wild caught in the Scottish coast.
So farm one safer.
Now the
Yeah, I will go to this.
ocean is full of microplastic. There's another contamination.
So the
Yeah.
ocean
Fish.
is also rubbish lah.
So we go on the idea that if it spends a lot less time than a huge 500 kg tuna,
Yeah.
it's probably has got less amount. So lesser of the evil.
Yes.
The reason why I mentioned sardines and vegetable is because it works synergistically together in helping you, especially elderly people who start to lose muscle mass anyway. Actually, once you pass 60, you will lose about 3% of muscle mass every year. And the problem is, I didn't tell you the other part, at least it's end, every go offline already.
You know, honestly,
Still online.
Online.
Still online.
Okay.
Thanks for that.
The same study they found is that it took them 2 weeks to lose 22 to 34%. You need 3 times the amount of time of progressive resistant exercise to regain most of what muscle has lost. So what actually happened in our life is we have a period where we are bedridden, we are hospitalized, we lose muscle mass, but we never gave back the strength of that muscle. So overall, we become more and more frail because of that. So the principle of building back the muscle is like go to a gym, right? You can just push 10 kg, you must increase it by 2 kg, 2 kg, 2 kg. Then your muscle will respond. You know. So a lot of people don't even understand this basic principle. So many of people who lose muscle mass don't gain it back. And it's-
After MS, we lose muscle mass lah. Don't get that already.
But I think today, whatever age you are, if you're intentional, but you must understand what's against you the moment you are past 60. When you're past 60, it's harder for your body to build back muscle because there's a lot of inflammatory combination of sardines and
What kind of veggie?
broccoli is good.
Or green?
Broccoli,
Don't
green leafy vegetables.
always promote sardine. You promote real fish and tilapia for my farm.
I reserve my comments.
And then you develop a marketing strategy. Make some
Why you know you start farming sardines?
Sardine cannot be farmed. They are migratory.
You cannot match the can sale.
It's very cheap. Actually, sardine is seasonal. It's migratory. They just catch them when they pass by.
So you see in order to build muscle, you must have progressive resistance exercise, and as you exercise, you must have the proper protein intake. Then you build your muscle. So you see, health is actually intentional. That's what I mean. It doesn't happenstance or just by chance. It has to be intentional.
You don't just build muscle mass. You have to build the bone mass.
People
Bone mass is impact exercise like boxing, kicking, jumping.
70.
As long as there's movement, it did not need to be high impact.
Impact you can build bone mass. Your movement only build muscle.
Maybe
Less
you
bone
use,
less effective.
you may use trampoline, no?
No. Impact must have impact.
Because impact also will affect the joints.
Don't impact till you die until broken
So trampoline is something that's impact. That's why they have this trampoline where you jump.
Only way for impact is rubber one.
No.
Jump up and down.
Impact.
It's impact without the reaction, without the excessive impulsive force that a person's body weight.
You punch the wall or kick boxing, Thai boxing. It's like then you see the bone very hard.
Maybe supposedly you have to go all the way to
Is there a possibility of too much sardine?
It's actually the wall.
Eating too much.
Some people say that uric acid, because fish have protein, uric acid. But there's a doctor that debunked it. He says that it's not true. The amount of sardines you take will not give you that kind of problem.
That means instead of taking meat, change to diet of
Like in fact, this sardine vegetable combination also help people who are diabetic to overcome that insulin resistance. People are diabetic because of insulin resistance, which means that the body is no longer sensitive to the signaling of insulin, so it doesn't store the sugar properly. So by cutting away carbohydrates and by building up the amount of ketones, it makes the body more sensitive to insulin. So I'm suggesting you something very simple, very affordable, and yet has got high impact. So you don't really need to have a lot of money to be healthy. You need to have knowledge, the right knowledge.
Thailand the sardine they use tilapia. They put tilapia instead of sardine.
No, it's not mince, it's full. You see the fish itself. Any more questions?
What onions and garlic?
Everything eat
Onion garlic is good because garlic is anti-inflammatory and also antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. So, but they say what you need to do
garlic is poisonous enough to kill insects and bacteria or other fungus, but not strong enough to kill you. So when you eat it, you kill whatever poison, bacteria or any pathogen inside your intestine. See, you can eat curry also, chili, all this you see, chili, even rats don't eat one. The ants also don't eat because it's poisonous.
Talk about rats, the recent announcement of the Hanta virus.
Why?
It's a virus that's carried by rodents.
Sound like the Chinese warrior.
Yeah. Have you read about it?
Yes.
Cannot remember.
Yeah, it's in America. And now this time it starts from Wuhan. It starts in Germany. So either way,
The rodents on the ship.
No, they have two on board the ship. Came back to Singapore already. Now they are being quarantined in CDC.
Quarantine the people or quarantine what?
The people.
They say it's highly lethal.
Yeah.
It's highly lethal. Yeah.
So far they have not released any information.
But in terms of our immunity,
Yes.
I tie it back to the talk. Our lymphatic system is actually the conduit of our immunity. So when our lymphatic system is not circulating properly, our immunity won't be very good. And if you're not moving, the immune system is not functioning as well as it should.
If I find nothing to move, you can come to my farm to work. That will keep you moving. The lightning don't go out.
Perhaps finish ahead of time.
No, it's okay. We can finish anytime. Then we go and eat or talk or at the coffee shop. So, anything otherwise you can tell them end of talk.
Well, if anyone who is on Zoom or here wants to reach me, contact me through WhatsApp. My contact is 84828752. Well, that's all.
I have your number. I don't need. Like you tell them we met when you tell how I know you.
We met in France.
Is it? No.
France because friendship remain and never can end.
Oh,
The report have came out already, both negative. The two guys that came back,
Okay.
they left the crew earlier. They fly back to Singapore,
Okay.
so he's been tracked. So now they tested negative.
But they're keeping it for
only quarantine 2 person lah.
When you say you're awareness consultant, what do you do actually? Give talks?
Actually, I'm focused in two areas. One area is to help people restore back good blood circulation and help them overcome their digestion issues. Because these two areas are the ones that will create other problems. Yeah. And actually, even without the digital economy or IT and all that, already a lot of people experience the regular stress, and so gut issues, digestion issues.
But by itself, aging is a natural.
Actually, according to United Nations, they say they have classified aging as a disease. And it is true because it used to be that people say arthritis is a disease, but a lot of people are having arthritis younger.
It's not a disease. Okay, if you define the meaning of disease, because I also asked the nurse why you say heart disease when there's no bacteria, no pathogen, nothing. It's just your body has accumulated excess things like blood or artery, all these things. These are your body attacking your own body. So it's not a disease.
Actually, even in medical science, right, there is always a predominant theory that guides the profession at any time. So
aging is not a disease, but in medical term, everything that causes you to problem with classified as a disease.
actually,
Designation is
for example, heart problems.
yeah, but that's why they call it heart disease, but it's not caused by external bacteria or virus.
Not true.
This one?
The doctors see a connection between tooth decay.
No, this one more than 10 years already. It's not a new model. 10 years already.
Tooth decay can lead to heart disease.
No, now you should buy the TJI.
Because the bacteria, right?
The TJI.
This blood will find its way to the
Now the
bloodstream.
TJI, you buy the pocket 4.
And,
4 generations
but
already.
the
Much
germ
better
theory
than
also
this
is
one.
wrong. The absence of germs or
Now
absence
you
of
see,
bacteria is not necessarily
we are
good because
using
they
the
found that
handbone.
there's such a thing as friendly
Handbone
bacteria.
and the gimbal.
The friendly
Okay.
bacteria
Pocket
is part
4,
of your defense system. In fact, it forms
they already
about half or
have
more
the gimbal and then the
the
camera.
entire immune defense. So a lot of people
Very small. Very small. Smaller than this one. Yes. You see the gimbal, the camera is smaller than this one.
When COVID happened, right?
You search for DJI Pocket 4.
India, to some
It does
extent,
launch.
is affected, but also not so severely affected because they have a habit of drinking sour milk, and the Koreans have a habit of eating fermented kimchi, which is a kind of a probiotic.
Because you contain bacteria.
Yeah, friendly bacteria.
Bacteria that don't kill you, make you stronger. The same like India, they drink cow urine.
I'm not so sure about that.
They quote themselves with cow dung against COVID.
I mean, increasingly there are a lot of mainstream doctors that are also advocating the use of probiotics
Huh?
as a kind of a defense.
This one, I don't buy this theory. Because whatever bacteria in your gut system is there because of your daily routine. If you eat bread, lunch, dinner, your inside is different from someone who eats curry and whatever. So your gut intestine, your bacteria inside your body is already different. And then you purposely
You buy
take
here,
probiotic
from
to
here,
upset the bacteria.
it's about
Then after a
oh,
while,
cheaper.
the food that you eat will bring it back.
No.
If the probiotic is so fantastic, then you take one time, it stays in your gut system forever. The thing is, if you keep taking these, those probiotics cannot survive
The
in your
gimbal
gut.
is smaller.
mean that they are not suitable for you
You just watch lah.
because of your food.
Egypt,
You see,
a
if
lot of
you take
people
more
in
rice,
this is
more
a hot
curry,
water.
every day you eat curry, your gut, the material inside the gut is different.
I guess the important thing is the diversity.
Yeah, it is okay if you don't fall sick, you remain healthy by eating curry every day. It's okay. But what you eat and what people in another country eat are different. So the gut bacteria and your bacteria are different.
Mark, Dr. Ho say a good talk. You ask the audience, Dr. Ho. Dr. Ho say a good talk from you. Wow, Dr. appreciate the talk.
But you don't come?
Huh?
You don't join?
Yeah, he didn't come inside the class.
Oh.
You didn't come.
Support through Zoom. Support Mark through Zoom.
But should support in person lah.
If you want to ask the Zoom any question, then you do for every support already.
Okay, since I'm unable to do it today, but I will call.
Play again, huh?
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very well.
Thank you.